What's going on, everybody? My name is Ben and welcome back to the bench for our very first new build series for 2026. I hope everyone had a great holiday season and a happy new year to everyone out there. We're going to go ahead and start off the new year with something a little different, something I typically don't build a lot of, and that is something from World War I. I think this is going to be kind of fun. So check it out. We're going to be working on this right here. This is a Pfalz D.IIIa from Eduard 1/48 scale, and I really like Eduard's overall World War I aircraft. 1/48 scale, so it's not giant, but also it's not too tiny, so it should be easy enough to work on. And this has some very interesting patterns. It's got that lozenge camouflage on the upper and lower wings. Plus, I really like the look of the Pfalz D.III. It's got such a streamlined appearance, and I don't think the rigging is all that too difficult. So I think this is going to be fun. Let's go ahead and check out the box. As you can see, we've got 4 different versions we can go ahead and paint with this. And this is unusual because I have another weekend edition of this exact same aircraft and it only comes with 2 color schemes. This one comes with 4. So let's go ahead and open up the box and check out the parts. So just from a basic look, we've got 1 poly bag with 2 sprues. That's it, just 2 sprues. There are not a lot of parts to these World War I aircraft, so put that aside for now. We do have a lot of decals though. We have an entire packet of just decals alone. We've got all the lozenge patterns on the back here, as well as the underside and even some other details, so that's awesome. Getting into the parts themselves, let's go ahead and take a look at them. Like I mentioned, we just have 2 sprues, and the detail on these looks pretty decent. Now, I have built 2 other Eduard World War I aircraft, and I built them, it must have been at least 4 years ago or so, maybe even 5. I built small 1/72 scales for 12 sprues, and those were, I think, from Rodin, but I think this is going to be kind of a nice change of pace. It's going to be a bit bigger. We've got some nice detail here, raised panel lines where it's applicable, and of course, we've got some beautiful structural detailing. The inside of the fuselage, we do have a little bit of some detail here. It's a little bit soft. It's not as pronounced as I would imagine it to be, but this is okay. You're not really going to see a whole lot in there anyway. Just a little bit of clever painting and we'll be good to go. So you can see on both sides, we do have those structural detailings in there. So that's nice. Just have to figure out the right colors for that, and I think we'll be good to go. We do have pre-drilled holes for our rigging, which is really nice, except nothing around the fuselage wing connection point. That we're going to have to drill ourselves. Moving over to the upper wing, we have a couple of raised panels right here, and we have our radiator next to that. I don't know if that should be that prominent, but well, it is what it is. We've got our propeller blade right here, and honestly, it looks very nice. I think we can go ahead and get kind of a wood coat on there. A little bit of a sink mark in the middle, but we've got our nose cone over top of that, so it'll hide it nicely. The engine is very, very nicely molded. You could actually do quite a bit of wiring and whatnot to add in some extra piping and make this look really, really cool. Both sides have a lot of nicely molded details, but to be honest, you're not really going to see much of it. So I'm going to have to kind of figure out what I want to do with that. Of course, our exhaust collector plugs into the side of it right here. I might want to drill it out a little bit more, but yeah, not too bad. Switching over to the instructions, these look pretty decent. We've got some very high quality glossy pages, a little bit of write up here on the aircraft itself, part layout, and then we get into the actual construction. And like most Eduard kits, most kits really anywhere, we're going to start off with the cockpit. Moving on to the engine, moving on to the fuselage, all the different areas. There's not really that much to do to get this thing put together, right? There's just a couple of steps. It's a very simple looking aircraft. We will have to go ahead and check on that engine though, because I would love to add more detail to it, but most of it is kind of hidden by this shroud. So I don't think I'm going to do too much. You're not going to see it if I do. Very nice part layouts right here. The rigging will be a little tough, but we've got a very nice rigging diagram. And of course we have to get our landing gears on, and there are a couple of extras we can put into that. Beautiful looking model, honestly. Now for the color schemes, like I mentioned, we're given 4 different color schemes. We have this really interesting paper dragon motif we've got here with the lozenge pattern up on top. I was kind of hesitant to do the lozenge pattern only because it's so complicated looking, but to be honest, the other weekend edition kit I have does not contain the lozenge details, so maybe I'll just go with it, right? But we have a couple of different options, not only the lozenge, but we also have painted surfaces, so that's good. Another one here looks very interesting. I love the red and the silver along with that pattern there on top, very interesting. And the final one is a really cool kind of red and green. I don't know how it would be masking off the red outline around the green tail. That could be kind of tedious, but it does look pretty cool, and I love that white horse on the side of it. So we have some great options here. Now we do have an entire call out here for all of our different lozenge details, as well as the stitching and all of that we can go ahead and add in to each of the structural ribs. So yeah, we've got a lot of work we could do with this. We could make it look pretty cool. So I think that's going to be fun. I'm very excited to go ahead and get started on this one. Moving on to the decals, guys, let's take a look at these because I'm very curious how these will go together. And I'm wondering if these decals are those new kinds you can pull up the carrier film film? I'm curious. I'll have to do more research on that. But as you can see, we've got 3 pages of decals. We've got all of our lozenge patterns. We've got the undersurface of those wings, and then we have our main decal page. So let's go ahead and peel one of these back and take a look at the colors. And yeah, they look really nice. Though I have noticed there's some odd kind of markings left onto the decals themselves. I think it's from the wax paper, but it's very unusual. Let me zoom in for you and I'll show you. Hopefully you can see this. As I kind of turn the decals a little bit, you'll notice that there's almost like a rough texture to all of them, and I'm pretty sure that's from the wax paper being kind of sandwiched on there for so long. Yeah, you can kind of see that. I don't know if that will affect the decal itself, but there's something to consider. If worse comes to worse, I could technically paint these because they aren't that complicated. And I think I painted one on a 1/72nd scale, but I could not replicate the lozenge pattern. That's just not going to happen. But we'll see how that goes. Maybe we'll do some tests or something and figure it out. But yeah, guys, that's what we've got. This is the first official brand new build for 2026, and I'm very excited to go ahead and get started on this. I love the look of the Pfalz D.IIIa. It looks interesting, it looks streamlined, it looks fast, even though I don't know much about it. I don't really have that much in terms of references either, so I'm going to have to go ahead and figure some of that out. I have found a couple of ebooks that I could potentially use for some inspiration, and strangely enough, the instruction manual for the Wingnut Wings version of the Pfalz D.IIIa, that actually has a lot of information in it and some great pictures that I probably can use. Again, these got some great markings. I really do like the look of these. Can't wait to go ahead and dive on into it. I do have to order some paint, however. I don't have the paint I need for this, so we're going to order the paint this week. Any one of these 4 that I choose will be awesome. So hey, if you guys have a particular favorite, let me know in the comments below. But I think we're going to probably try to go with something with that lozenge pattern, just so I can use them and kind of mess around with it a bit and see how they work. I mean, we have them on this model, we might as well try to use them. But anyway, guys, that is it for us today. I just wanted to give you guys a look at what we're going to be building here for 2026 for our very first build. I'm going to hopefully get this all squared away, and we'll see how it goes. Edward makes great kits, and I really do enjoy putting them together, and I've built a couple of their World War I offerings, and they usually do a very nice job. The rigging, though, that's going to be a bit of some trouble, so I'll have to look back and figure out how to do that. Now, I do have some easy line, and I remember when I built my Albatross quite a while back, I actually made the little turnbuckles and whatnot for it, so I might try to do something similar to that, but we'll see. We'll see what I feel like. At least I got the easy line. I can go ahead and rig them up, maybe make some loopholes or whatever. We'll see what we do. But until our next episode, guys, thank you so much for joining us. I hope your 2026 is awesome. So until our next episode, you know the drill. Get out there, get yourself some bench time, have some fun, build something cool, and we'll see you back here on the next episode for the Pfalz D.IIIa by Edward. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you soon.